After meeting Moxxie's family through flashbacks in the most recent episode, it was heavily implied that Moxxie's mother was dead at the hands of Krim. But today, I want to talk about the possibility that Moxxie's mother is still alive and somewhere out there in the Seven Rings of Hell. My name is Impcut, hit that subscribe button, and if you want to talk more about Hazbin Hotel and Helluva and other cartoons, check out our Cartoon Universe Discord server. We've got channels for all sorts of shows that you can easily sign up for with our channels and roles onboarding. On top of that, we are also holding a Discord competition with the Crew Bot. The more active you are, the more points you get, and with enough points, you can even choose a topic for us to cover in a YouTube short. Link is in the pinned comment down below. Just be sure to ask for the Big Kids role to get access to shows for adults, and I'll see you guys there. The most recent episode of Helluva introduced us to Moxxie's family, who we now know to be a big mob family, with Moxxie growing up in the Greed Ring, doing business alongside the Loan Shark demons that we presume to also work for the Prince of Greed, Mammon. In episode 5, Blitz indicates that his employees are from Wrath, meaning Moxxie and Millie, as Luna we see to be from the Gluttony Ring. In the same episode, Moxxie also says he's from Wrath when talking to Millie's family, and Vivziepop confirmed in a tweet that he was in fact born there. Millie's town presents the Wrath Ring as more American Western, but we've seen in the Helluva as well as now in Moxxie's Mother that Wrath also takes influence from Latin America. With that in mind, I still suspect Moxxie and now his mother to be from Los Satanio, a city mentioned on the Verosca Band t-shirt from the Shark Robot store, though like with the Instagram accounts, we may not want to take the merchandise too seriously when talking about the canon of the show. Regardless, Vivziepop explains that Moxxie cares more for his mother, and thus for his mother's heritage, than his father's, indicating that Moxxie's father doesn't just do business in the Greed Ring, but is in fact from there. As of now, there appear to be subspecies of imp native to each ring, likely due to natural evolution as well as intermixing with native species, as seems to be the case with the sexy imps of the Lust Ring, who seem to be part succubus. Moxxie thus is likely one of many imps who has traits from various imp rings, and mixed imps are likely very common in Hell as they move about from one ring to another. Right now, there is a big mystery surrounding how exactly Moxxie's mother and father ended up together. I had originally theorized that she was something of a bought bride, but I also think it is possible that Moxxie's mother got pregnant when Crimson had a business trip in the Wrath Ring and ended up marrying him because of that, but quickly learned what a horrible man he was. Regardless of how they ended up together, it seemed that there was a deliberate choice to stop being affectionate with Crimson after the birth of Moxxie. However she ended up in this marriage, the goal appeared to be to leave Crimson an heir, and with that secured through Moxxie, his mother probably didn't want any more contact with Crimson than absolutely necessary. This would reach a boiling point when Moxxie's mother is seemingly slapped by Crimson and then walks out on him. Some fans have speculated that it is actually Moxxie's mother who slapped Crimson in this scene, but the fact that Moxxie is nervously hiding indicates that there was already some aggression going on. It seems to me that Crimson's father tried grabbing her, she pushed him away, and for that he smacked her, and thus she walked out. Moxxie would have felt abandoned by his mother after this, having no one to help him do the things he just wasn't getting right, like cutting his food, despite how skillful he was at other things like using guns. And despite that success with guns, his father still treated him like a failure. When Moxxie would eventually meet Millie, it would seem that she reminded him of his mother. Despite not quite fitting in with the aggressive Wrath Ring types, Moxxie tries to claim pride to that part of his heritage, romanticizing it because of her. While his mother may not have been a badass assassin like Millie, her southern charm and willingness to help take care of him probably reminded him a lot of his mother. Now, as an adult, that same kind of care allows him to do the same thing for Millie, to take care of her blind spots and be there for her in a way that she needs someone to be. Unfortunately, the last we saw of Moxxie's mother was just one of her shoes rising up to the surface of the water where Crimson dumps the bodies of people he killed, or even sinks them to drown. This would indicate that Moxxie's mother had been killed the night she walked out on Moxxie, a horrifying fate, but one that made Moxxie realize that his mother didn't abandon him, that she had been taken and killed before she could even have a chance to come back for him. Now, one thing about Helluva is that they aren't afraid to show violence, or really, someone being brutally and grossly murdered right on screen, just for comic effect. I mean, episode 2 was just a montage of female imps getting their brains blown out by Blitz's guns. If they wanted us to know with 100% certainty that Moxxie's mother was dead, they could have done so. That being said, gore and violence does not equal drama, and I would not be surprised if they didn't want to explicitly show her death because in many ways, this would be way more impactful than seeing it happen on screen. But for this theory, it has me thinking that Moxxie's mother may have survived. We see that living imps are chained up and thrown into the water as Moxxie and Crimson are trying to do on that very day. While demons are often scalped or have some other part removed for Crimson to hang on his wall, I doubt he would want proof that he murdered his wife just laying around, especially while raising his son, so probably would not have made a trophy of her horns. Plus, the person they bring with them, a male imp, has his horns only partially removed, meaning even if they did this to torture her or get a trophy that Crimson keeps hidden, she still could have been left alive to be thrown into the water like Moxxie's first victim here. As silly as it sounds, I could imagine her escaping the chains if she was able to slip off her shoe, allowing her foot through a loose enough opening, leaving her shoe behind. This theory is a bit wild, but I saw a few people in the comments suggesting something along these lines might have happened, and in TV, we always say that you shouldn't trust that someone is dead unless you really see the body. But again, they may have chosen this route just because it is more dramatic. But if Moxxie's mother is still alive, what would that mean? Well, I don't think she would have abandoned Moxxie outright. I think she would have watched from afar, trying to find an opening to come in and save Moxxie, but never finding one because of how much security Crimson has with his loan sharks. When Moxxie would run away to work for Blitz, I imagine she would be more at ease, seeing that her son was not corrupted by Crimson and managed to make a life for himself. But I imagine she would always do her best to keep an eye on Crimson, who wasn't just a threat to her and Moxxie, but to Imps and society as a whole. We saw at the end of the last episode that Moxxie's father is out for revenge against Moxxie, ready to kill him and perhaps even hang up his horns as an ornament the way he does with Chaz's teeth. This makes him just one of the many people in Hell who have a vendetta against the IMP gang and could be exactly the motivation Moxxie's mother needs to enter back into his life and be a part of the show. The plans for Crimson go back quite a bit, with there being references to Moxxie's mob family lifestyle and what their fate may be all the way back in episode 1, and there being character art from as far back as 2020 showing Moxxie's father as a mob boss. All of this to say, I imagine the plot of Moxxie's to basically become the strong B plot alongside Blitz's A plot of Stolas and the IMP business, and what better twist to have down the road than Moxxie's mother surviving and coming back for revenge against Crimson and to help save her son. But these are just my theories so far. Do you think Moxxie's mother is alive, or is this just another arc in the Deepcut fanfiction? Let me know your darkest secrets in the comments down below, and while you're down there, check out the link to our Cartoon Universe Discord server where we talk about Hazbin Hotel and other cool shows. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button because we have some really fun theories coming out these next few weeks that you're not going to want to miss. See you guys then.